Ukraine's military campaign against Russian oil refineries appears to be gaining momentum. Recently, another attack took out one of the country's largest refineries, Lukoil's Volgograd refinery. As a result, the refinery stopped accepting raw materials. The refinery processes up to 300,000 barrels per day and is one of the main suppliers of fuel to domestic and foreign markets. Even a temporary shutdown could negatively impact supplies to these destinations. With limited domestic storage for finished products, the shutdown means fewer gasoline and diesel supplies to domestic markets and more crude for export, likely through western Russian ports. Exports are therefore expected to rise sharply this month as the refinery and others remain under repair. With Russia's refining network under constant pressure and crude flows being diverted, the coming weeks will test how quickly Moscow can resolve its fuel supply logistics problems, and whether Ukraine's attacks on Russia will begin to impact the global oil balance down the chain, not just Russia's domestic supply. Russia's fuel crisis is deepening. Moscow has introduced gasoline limits and is being forced to urgently buy fuel from Belarus, according to Ukraine's Foreign Intelligence Service. Russia is forced to urgently purchase fuel from Belarus, which is ramping up supplies and taking advantage of the situation, the intelligence service said. It noted that after Crimea, Zabaikalsky Krai and Primorye, the gasoline shortage has now reached the Kuril Islands. As of August the 20th, restrictions were introduced there as well, a maximum of 10 litres per person, with priority given to security services, emergency services and businesses. For the population, this is yet another confirmation that the fuel crisis is rapidly worsening, intelligence added. Earlier, the media reported that Ukrainian strikes on oil refineries disabled part of Russia's refining capacity, leaving the market with an acute gasoline shortage. Since the beginning of July, Ukraine has struck at least 4 large refineries in Russia. According to experts, the current campaign differs from previous ones in that the strikes are targeting enterprises in a key region, which could put them out of operation for a long time, even forever. Sergei Vakulenko, a senior fellow at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, said that in 2024, the attacks had been numerous but scattered, usually limited to a single plant, and that the damage had been quickly repaired. According to broker Finam, at least 10% of Russia's refining capacity has been knocked out. Strikes on railway infrastructure in the central part of the country have exacerbated the situation, causing train delays and fuel supply disruptions. To curb price increases, the Russian government completely banned gasoline export on July the 28th. But even this did not help to fully satisfy domestic demand.
A Ukrainian citizen suspected to be one of the coordinators of the undersea explosions in 2022 that damaged the Nord Stream gas pipelines between Russia and Germany has been arrested, German prosecutors said Thursday. According to Associated Press, the suspect, identified only as Serhiy K., in line with German privacy rules, was arrested overnight by officers from a police station in Misano Adriatico, near the Italian city of Rimini, federal prosecutors said. Explosions on September 26, 2022, damaged the pipelines, which were built to carry Russian natural gas to Germany under the Baltic Sea. The damage added to tensions over the war in Ukraine as European countries moved to wean themselves off Russian energy sources, following the Kremlin's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Investigators have been largely tight-lipped on their investigation, but said 2 years ago they found traces of undersea explosives in samples taken from a yacht that was searched as part of the probe. In a statement Thursday, prosecutors said Serhiy K. was one of a group of people who placed explosives on the pipelines and is believed to have been one of the coordinators. They said he is suspected of causing explosions, anti-constitutional sabotage and the destruction of structures. He was arrested on a European arrest warrant that was issued on Monday. The suspect and others used a yacht that set off from the German port of Rostock, which had been hired from a German company using forged IDs and with the help of intermediaries, prosecutors said. They didn't give any information on the other people aboard the yacht or say anything about who else might have been involved in coordinating the suspected sabotage, or about a possible motive. The explosions ruptured the Nord Stream 1 pipeline, which was Russia's main natural gas supply route to Germany until Moscow cut off supplies at the end of August 2022. They also damaged the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which never entered service because Germany suspended its certification process shortly before Russia invaded Ukraine in February of that year. Russia has accused the US of staging the explosions, a charge Washington has denied. The pipelines were long a target of criticism by the US and some of its allies, who warned that they posed a risk to Europe's energy security by increasing dependence on Russian gas. In 2023, German media reported that a pro-Ukraine group was involved in the sabotage. Ukraine rejected suggestions it might have ordered the attack, and German officials voiced caution over the accusation. German prosecutors didn't say when they expect Serhiy K. to be handed over to German authorities. Swedish and Danish authorities closed their investigations in February 2024, leaving the German prosecutor's case as the sole probe.